The speed of change in the last century is truly breathtaking. Life today looks nothing like it did 100 years ago. From the gadgets in our hands to the cities we live in, everything has been reshaped by progress. Welcome to Spin of Facts. Today we discuss the most powerful forces that have transformed our world in just 100 years. This journey will open your eyes to how fast and far humanity has come, and what this means for the future we are building together. Let's explore this incredible story of change. Technological revolution. 100 years ago, the radio was a marvel, bringing news and entertainment into homes in a way never seen before. Since then, technology has exploded in complexity and accessibility. The shift from bulky radios and wired telephones to pocket-sized smartphones has revolutionized communication and information sharing. The rise of personal computers in the late 20th century and the birth of the internet connected billions globally, shrinking distances and time. Social media platforms, instant messaging, and streaming services have become woven into everyday life, reshaping social interactions, economies, and entertainment. This fast-paced technological revolution not only increased convenience, but fundamentally changed how societies function, enabling a level of global connectivity that shapes culture, politics, and commerce today. The digital landscape continues to evolve, promising new possibilities we can barely imagine. Transportation transformation. A century ago, most travel was slow and local. Horse-drawn carriages, steam trains, and sailing ships defined transportation. The invention and mass production of automobiles in the early 1900s gave people unprecedented mobility, while the airplane revolutionized global travel by making distant places reachable in hours instead of weeks. The jet engine further accelerated air travel, transforming tourism and business. Meanwhile, cities grew around expanded road and transit systems, reshaping daily life. The space race marked a new era in human exploration, culminating with the Apollo moon landing in 1969, showcasing human ingenuity and ambition. Today, electric vehicles and reusable rockets signal a shift towards sustainable and advanced travel technologies. Transportation has evolved from mere movement to a powerful force influencing economies, cultures, and how we envision the future of human presence on Earth and beyond. Medical breakthroughs. Medical science a century ago faced enormous challenges. Infectious diseases like tuberculosis and polio caused widespread suffering and death. The discovery of antibiotics in the 1940s revolutionized treatment, saving countless lives. Vaccines eradicated or controlled many deadly diseases, while improvements in sanitation and nutrition boosted public health. Advances continued with insulin for diabetes, early cancer therapies, and modern surgical techniques. Today, technologies like MRI and gene editing allow unprecedented precision in diagnosis and treatment. Personalized medicine and robotic surgery improve outcomes and minimize risks. Life expectancy has dramatically increased worldwide, fundamentally altering societies by extending productive years and reshaping family structures. While healthcare access remains uneven globally, the progress in medical knowledge and innovation over the last century is one of humanity's most remarkable achievements, continuing to push the boundaries of what's possible. Social movements. The past century is marked by powerful social movements that reshape societies and redefine justice and equality. Women's suffrage movements early on led to women gaining the right to vote in many countries, setting a precedent for gender equality. The civil rights movement, especially in the mid-20th century, challenged systemic racism and segregation, demanding equal treatment under the law. Feminism evolved through multiple waves, addressing workplace discrimination, reproductive rights, and cultural roles. Disability rights and environmental justice have also become central to social progress. These movements shifted societal norms and legal frameworks, expanding human rights and inclusion. Although challenges remain, the ongoing struggle for equality has fostered greater awareness, dialogue, and activism, inspiring continued efforts for a fairer, more just world. Environmental awareness. Industrial growth over the last 100 years fueled unprecedented economic development, but came at a steep environmental cost. Early decades prioritized production with little thought for pollution or resource depletion. By mid-century, the damage became undeniable. Air and water pollution, deforestation, and species loss sparked concern. Rachel Carson's Silent Spring and the First Earth Day, awakened public consciousness to the consequences of unchecked industrialization. Scientific consensus on climate change emerged, emphasizing the urgent need to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Global agreements like the Kyoto Protocol and Paris Accord reflect growing international commitment, though implementation remains challenging. Today, renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and conservation efforts are critical responses. The past century reveals the complex relationship between progress and preservation, underscoring that balancing economic growth with environmental stewardship is essential for the planet's future. Economic shifts. In 1920, most people worked in agriculture and lived in rural areas. Industrialization brought massive shifts, moving labor into factories and urban centers. The Great Depression exposed vulnerabilities in the global economy, leading to new policies and institutions to stabilize markets. Post-World War II, consumerism surged alongside rapid growth, with multinational corporations expanding across borders. Globalization connected markets like never before, driven by advances in transport and communication, integrating supply chains worldwide. The digital revolution introduced new industries such as software and online services, reshaping jobs and commerce. While millions have escaped poverty, economic inequality and job displacement remain pressing issues. Understanding these shifts is key to navigating the challenges of automation, globalization, and sustainability in the modern economy as we build on the century's lessons to create more resilient systems. Cultural evolution. Culture a century ago was mostly local, shaped by geography, language, and tradition. The spread of radio, cinema, and later television brought distant cultures closer, creating shared experiences and new cultural icons. The internet era accelerated this trend, enabling instant access to global music, fashion, art, and ideas, fostering a rich cultural exchange. This fusion has generated hybrid identities and broadened perspectives, but also sparked debates about cultural preservation and identity. Movements to revive indigenous languages and customs show the desire to maintain diversity amid globalization. Social media now drives trends and activism, making culture more interactive and democratic. This evolving cultural landscape reflects a dynamic balance between unity and diversity, connecting humanity while honoring unique traditions in a rapidly changing world. Political landscape. The world's political map has been dramatically redrawn over the last century. The decline of colonial empires post-World War II gave birth to many new nations and expanded democracy. The Cold War created a bipolar world marked by ideological rivalry, nuclear threats, and proxy conflicts. The Soviet Union's fall in 1991 reshaped geopolitics, increasing the number of democratic states and altering global alliances. Despite this progress, authoritarianism and regional conflicts persist. The United Nations and other international organizations strive to promote peace and cooperation, though their effectiveness is often debated. Political change over the century reflects humanity's ongoing struggle for self-determination, governance, and stability, highlighting both achievements and enduring challenges in building peaceful, just societies worldwide. Education revolution. A century ago, education was a luxury many children around the world never experienced. Over time, efforts to make schooling universal transformed this landscape, significantly boosting literacy rates and opening doors to opportunity. Traditional teaching methods focused mainly on memorization, but gradually educators shifted toward nurturing creativity, critical thinking, and inclusivity. The arrival of the digital age brought a seismic shift. Online courses, virtual classrooms, and interactive tools now enable millions to access education, regardless of geography. The COVID-19 pandemic pushed remote learning to the forefront, exposing gaps in access but also sparking innovation in how knowledge is delivered. Technology continues to break down barriers, connecting learners globally and reshaping education's future. This ongoing revolution is shaping a more informed, skilled, and interconnected generation, ready to face tomorrow's challenges with the tools and knowledge they need to succeed. Future outlook. The dramatic transformations of the past century set the stage for a future filled with both extraordinary opportunities and tough challenges. Breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, gene editing, and space exploration offer possibilities that once belonged only in science fiction. but they also raise critical ethical questions around privacy, fairness, and control. Meanwhile, climate change looms as an urgent global crisis, demanding cooperation and sustainable solutions. Social and economic inequalities continue to test societies, urging innovation to ensure that progress benefits everyone. The digital age is redefining how we connect, communicate, and understand one another. Reflecting on the past 100 years highlights humanity's incredible resilience and creativity, but it also underscores the need for responsible stewardship of technology and resources. Moving forward, balancing innovation with ethics and equity will be essential to building a future that is sustainable, just, and inspiring for all. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through the last 100 years of change here on Spin of Facts. These transformations remind us how fast the world evolves and how much potential the future holds. Got thoughts or questions? Drop them in the comments. I read every single one. Share this with a friend who needs to see this. Subscribe now so you don't miss what's coming next. Trust me, it's worth it.